So it's been a month. The day is June 1st. 1 month in Indonesia. I don't have a single video out, huh? So, yeah, I wanted to come out here and record a little intro and explanation, just how things are going. This last month has been the most incredible experience of my entire life. The things that I've done, the people that I've met, the things that I've learned, seen, heard, experienced, felt, tasted. Incredible. One of the most intense, and I can't even put into words what I feel, and it's only been 1 month. So I'll do a quick rundown of what has happened, what I'm doing now, and what's going to happen. Right now, I'm at Monas. I hope the video looks good because I'm not sure I got the shot quite right, and also the sun is behind me, so I probably look very dark. But I'm just gonna keep going. So what have I been up to the last month? That's a tough one. So I'll start with the things that I have been doing physically. Because it's June 1st, my time in Jakarta is coming to an end. I booked this hostel for 1 month. From the 29th, I'm already over a month at this point. Yeah, so what have I been doing? I went to Monas. I've been here maybe 3 times now. This is my 3rd time. There's a National Library across the street that I went to, and that's 25 floors up. I went to a rooftop bar, and that was 56 floors up. Oh my God. It's insane to think that all this stuff happened in 1 month. I've been to countless malls, eaten a ton of new food. I've been to a bunch of markets. I bought some new clothes. We fed the local children a lot of food and snacks. I went to a mountain. I jumped off a waterfall. I hiked up a river. I went to a tribe in the middle of the jungle. I was probably one of the first people to jump off of a vine bridge into a river that we didn't know the depth of, that no one had probably ever jumped before. I spent time singing with the locals. I spent time meeting people from all over the world. It's a lot of hellos, it's a lot of goodbyes. I've taken pictures with 1 billion people that want to take pictures with us. I watched an American movie with Indonesian subtitles about America, and then I watched an Indonesian movie in Indonesian with Indonesian subtitles. We did karaoke. I've done, oh my God, so much stuff that I'm actually struggling to fucking remember everything. I'm looking at my camera roll to just remind myself what I've done. It's just like a ridiculous amount of things. I've walked the alley streets at night with a group of people, interacted with a bunch of children in the middle of the street at like 9 p.m., just randomly walking around. I've seen a bat in a cage. I've seen a luwak. I've seen 2 luwaks. I've seen a monkey on the side of the road. On our way back from the tribe, the Baduy tribe, we got a flat tire. I hiked for, it must have been in total maybe 8 hours. I got my hair cut. I went to a water park. I rented an electric scooter on the beach twice. I played pool in this random hole-in-the-wall karaoke spot that's like in a parking garage, and it's just a door, and you walk in the door and it's a whole club with a stage, pool tables, karaoke rooms, a full bar, a full restaurant, and it's just some random door in the middle of a parking garage. I got taken to some random Catholic church by some random guy that I met while I was trying a durian smoothie thing. He was a little bit obsessed with me. And I still don't know why. Yeah, I took a couple trains, took a lot of grab bikes, which works amazingly. It's a great service. Shout out to Grab. I had the craziest motorcycle ride of my entire life. Going down the side of a mountain at full speed, going through these crazy curves, and oh my god. The second time I did record it, but it was on the worst phone that I have, the bad phone. I had to record it on the bad phone, but I have it recorded. And all of these things, I have video, picture, recordings, all this stuff. Every single one of these things I have recorded. It's just a matter of sitting down and editing all this stuff. So much stuff. Before I left, I was telling people, oh yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna just fall off the face of the earth. I'm gonna be posting videos and posting pictures and updates and all this stuff. And I have not posted a single thing in an entire month. My mom is super frustrated with me because I just call her and I tell her about these things. And I have it all recorded, but I haven't posted anything. So no one actually knows what I'm doing except for me. So that's what I've been doing. What's the plan right now? For the first 2 to 2.5 weeks, I spent a lot of time with other travelers, with other backpackers, and I was not really learning that much of the language, which is not a bad thing. I had a fantastic time, and I do not regret my time with the people that I've met, the amazing, amazing people that I've met from all over the world. But I do think that my Bahasa Indonesia would be better if I spent less time with tourists and more time with locals. And as I started to realize that, I started to think about what my next move was. So right now I have an app called Workaway. Basically, people from all over the world can host travelers to come to their house, to come to their farm, and you work with them, whatever they need help with, and in exchange they house you, they feed you, they, you know, whatever. It's basically like an exchange. You stay with a family where you really integrate into a family. And so that's my current plan, is I'm sending a lot of emails to different Workaway hosts, trying to secure a spot for June, even though it's last minute, because it's already June. Yeah. June 1st. Yeah, so I have some promising ones. I'm really hoping they respond soon. Crossing my fingers because it's been a while. And I really need a place to go because Jakarta is a bit more expensive than a lot of the surrounding areas, and I'd like to go somewhere else other than Jakarta. I've been here for over a month now. I've been here for 34 days now. And Jakarta's been amazing, amazing, amazing. It's a great city, but there's a lot of Indonesia to see, and Indonesia is an extremely, extremely diverse country, with many different islands, many different cultures, many different languages. They have almost, I think, over like 170, maybe 200 and something different, distinct languages, completely different languages. So for example, like when we were in Baduy, we're speaking Bahasa Sunda, which is Sundanese in English, but that's like West Java. But East Java, they speak Javanese. In English, it's spelled like Javanese. So the words are completely different. I'll give you an example. In Indonesian, thank you is terima kasih. In Sunda, it's hatur nuhun, and in Jawa it's matur nuhun. So those two are a little bit similar, but the difference between Indonesian and Jawa and Indonesian and Sunda is completely different. And there's a lot of things like that all over Indonesia. They have different languages. Indonesia is extremely diverse. It's really big. It's a really big country. There's so much to see. People keep telling me I should go to Bali, but there's too many tourists there. And I'd really rather spend less time with tourists. That's not really what I'm here to do, is to spend more time with more tourists. What I'm really here to do is to learn the language, learn the culture, and Jakarta was a great experience, and I'm ready to move on now, basically. I'll come back to Jakarta one day because I actually love the city. I think it's a great city, a nice like standard place to set up camp and to return to often. But there's just so much more to see in the entirety of the country. So what am I thinking about doing? I mean, there's a billion different things. I could go to Sumatra, which is the island northwest of here. It's relatively close to Jakarta. I could go to Kalimantan, which is Borneo, the island north of here, which is it's kind of far away actually. Or I could take a train, which this is my working plan right now, is I'm gonna take a train from Jakarta to, what is it called? Bandung. Maybe spend like a day or two in Bandung. Then Bandung to Jogja. Spend maybe a day or two in Jogja. It's also very, very cheap in Jogja as well. And then from Jogja go to Malang, because Malang is a much smaller city and they have more than one workaway hosts that are in Malang. So I'm hoping that one of them will respond so that I can just go there and have a place to stay for like 3 weeks or a month. That's the plan. The plan for the future right now is to get on a little bit of a schedule, because I have so much recorded and so much happens every single day that I record that I want to make into videos. But if I record one thing every day, I would have to make a video every single day just to keep up with the amount of footage that I'm recording. And also my phone space and my GoPro SD card are filling up like crazy. So it's very difficult to keep up with it. So I think I'm gonna start on a schedule of uploading a video every week on Wednesday. Why Wednesday? No idea. Just picked a random day. There's so much to put out. Like the actual doing it is the hard part. The recording is so easy because you literally just have to record. So with all that said, yeah, I'm having the time of my life. It's the most amazing thing I've ever done. It's sometimes unbelievable that I'm even out here, because I'm like, you know, the first time when I stepped on the first plane when I was taking my connection to London, even before I stepped on the plane, when I said goodbye to my parents and I got into the line for TSA, I just started crying walking away from them. And while I was in the line for TSA, the only thing in my head was just, what am I doing? Am I stupid? I'm like leaving my family, leaving my country, leaving my language, leaving my culture. Like, what? Am I fucking crazy? Am I just insane? Like, what am I doing? I think Americans would benefit immensely from taking the leap. Here in Indonesia, I've met countless people from the Netherlands, from Germany, from France, from the UK, from Belgium. I've met people from India. I've met people from New Zealand, Australia, Morocco. Just an insane amount of people from the Middle East, Oceania, and Europe. And the total amount of Americans that I've met is maybe five or six. And you know, these Dutch people, they come in droves. They come in droves, like 5, 6, 7 groups of like 5. And I've met maybe 5 other Americans on this entire journey. And I think the thing that Americans could take from my personal experience for people watching this is to just take the chance. When you're around this age, my age, or even older, it doesn't matter. Younger, in your 20s, even in your 30s, if you haven't left the country and flown across the Atlantic Ocean at least once, I promise you, you will love it, and it will improve your life like immensely. And I'm not just talking about doing what I'm doing, which is learning the culture, learning the language, and spending a lot of time. I'm talking just leave the country and just experience what life is like outside of the United States. And don't get me wrong, I love the United States. I love my country. We do have a legitimate problem where we stay inside this bubble, and the United States is like, just the entire world just consists of the United States. We even vacation like in our own country. So like Americans don't learn another language, which is rare. Americans, we think it's like this crazy concept to learn another language, but then I'll be walking down the street, I'll find an Indonesian who learned English just from watching like television, movies, and listening to podcasts and music. And he learned English, which is way harder than Indonesian is as a language. And Americans think it's like this impossible thing, but it's not. It's really not. It helps your mental as well. It helps your mental health as well. I think to learn another language gives you another perspective on life. Everything can be described in a different perspective, which is just, it's just insane. It would help everyone to learn another language, but not even that. If you're an American, just take the leap. If you need a break, go across the Atlantic Ocean. Go somewhere. It's not that scary. When I stepped on my flight to London, I sat down, and that's when the flight took off, every worry that I had in the United States just disappeared. It was like, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not even there anymore. I don't have to worry about this stuff. Just take a break. Quit your job, whatever it is, take a break. You're in this cycle you can't break and you're wondering why. It's because that is a part of American culture, and we need to start changing the way that Americans work all the time. Come take a break. Come to Southeast Asia and just spend some time here. Just a little bit of time. And I promise you, it's not that scary. When you're on this side of the world, everything is accessible by land. When you're in the United States, the only thing that's accessible by land is the rest of the Americas and Canada. Central and South America and Canada. And that's like it. Across the Atlantic Ocean is the entire rest of the world, And once you're over this side, to this side of the world, everything becomes accessible to you. I don't even have to fly. I could take boats, I could take trains, I could take buses, overnight buses, cars, hitchhiking. You can reach anywhere on this side of the world without taking flights. Go to somewhere in Europe and you can get anywhere for cheap. It's not that scary, it's not that expensive. If you live an expensive life, paying for all these hotels and all this stuff, of course it's going to be extremely expensive. But for me, all the money that I'm traveling on right now is money that I earned from maybe 3-4 months of constant working. 4 months. And then I'm taking all that money that I made from working only 4 months, and I'm traveling off of that alone. It's not that scary, it's not that expensive. I think Americans would benefit immensely from it. I know I did. I know you would. So people that are getting out of high school, consider traveling first before you go to college. You will find out what really matters to you. With that, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. See you next time.